Place, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Adana Kumbi. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it on this Friday morning here in Tobago at the Tobago Updates Television, the morning show. We want to welcome you. We want to say thank you so much for always choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. Without you, we would not have a show. So we must take the time to say thank you. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of our listeners. For those of you who view us on Amplier 102 on Facebook Live and on our YouTube channel, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and pleasant morning to you. It's Friday, the beginning of the weekend. Julian, what is your weekend looking like, or what is happening in Tobago? That's right, that's right.
Fact, I'm in the thank God it's Friday kind of mode.
Seeing that.
Yes, looking forward. A couple of activities happening this weekend. In fact, we have the Rotaract Club of Tobago hosting the District Rotaract representative, which is the representative of those Caribbean countries. Rotaract as part of the movement within Rotary International, age 18 and over. That young professional section that I'm just over the age right now.
Just right.
There's no upper limit at this point. But certainly kudos and commendations going out there. So those activities will certainly engage some of my time over the course of the weekend. In addition to the usual cultural festive activities, I like to ensure that I'm on top of the happenings, so I can bring the experiences here to each and every one of you.
Of course, we're quite aware, Julian. You are like the life of the party. You know, a long time they used to say every pan knock you there.
Yes,
you know, and we appreciate
not all the time now, but
but you know, we appreciate the updates that you bring, you know, and the life that you bring to the events you attend. So we appreciate you very, very much.
Most certainly, I think we're doing so well in Steel Pan. You know, really encouragement. I am particularly pleased, you know, to see in terms of the extent of the involvement of Tobago bands. It gives you that sense of pride and joy, and not just Tobago bands, but Tobago bands competing at the national level and really taking their place. So commendations going out indeed, and in fact we'll have some discussions on that a little later on this morning. All right, the viewers, at this point we head on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 12th January 2024. After 2 decades in storage, TATCO unveiled the fishing vessel TFG 2165 named Karen and set bait equipment to launch a live bait industry. Donated by the Japanese government, this equipment has remained unused. TATCO chairman Ricardo Alfred stated that the initiative aims to establish a sustainable live bait industry in Tobago. Karen, designed for Tobago waters, uses environmentally safe methods, ensuring the release of marine creatures without harm. However, in the upcoming weeks, TATCO and All Tobago Fisherfolk Association and local fishermen will assess, repair, and test the equipment at Plymouth Bay, with plans for implementation in other bays like Castara and Palatavere upon success. Political leader of the PNM Tobago Council, Ansel Dennis, emphasized the importance of autonomy for Tobago in a recent press conference. He recalled shared understanding in 2016 that Tobago autonomy extended beyond personal and political interests. Dennis advocated for consensus, suggesting parties should either agree to disagree or prioritize the majority view over personal perspective. Reflecting on the 2016 legislative process led by former Chief Secretary Orville London, Dennis highlighted that no bill passes in this original form, as legislations involve debates, seeking advice, and compromises. Acknowledging diverse opinions during the process, he noted that some support certain aspects of the bill while others seek improvement. And finally, the Integrity Commission has extended ex parte High Court action action against 18 individuals in public life seeking court orders for their decorations. This addresses only part of the issue, as 372 individuals have failed to comply with declaration requirements despite names being published. Initially, 461 names were published for non-compliance and 89 individuals voluntarily complied. However, on January 10th and 11th, ex parte action began against 18 applicants, urging the High Court to mandate submission. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
There, Biana, quite interesting, Adana, in that wrap-up portion, a part of your requirement as a public officer, particularly those senior officers, politicians, and so on, to be able to declare. Yet we have an interesting situation of some who perhaps, I don't know, is it that they choose not to?
I suppose. My lips are sealed.
You know, there's some level of disbelief. It's almost a case. The way I see these things, sadly, or the reality is, it's what you signed up for. You made a choice in that direction, right. and these are parts of the requirements. And in fact, once there is any hesitation on your part to declare, it then begins to make me wonder. The Prime Minister attempted to be very forward with that. He came forward, he said clearly the properties that he owns, etc. Right. And there is no intent to hide anything. And I don't know if anything else at all, it's important that persons recognize on going into public life and making that determination comes with a greater level of scrutiny, because plenty of little thief. I don't know how else to say it. Or should I say, let me translate that for those viewing internationally and abroad. A lot may be taken up by corruption, questions of corruption. And that's the problem. We got to ensure that what you have beforehand and what you have along the way versus what you have after, to be able to make the comparison, because the fear generally is that there is a lot of corruption taking place. And these are some of the mechanisms. We're not saying that they're perfect, but these are some of the mechanisms to help monitor the situation, to give the public some sense of comfort. Give some sense of accountability. So I would really like to hear from those, especially those senior and experienced politicians, what else are some of the reasons that politicians would not declare? I am open to be schooled this morning. Feel free to drop the information on the live if you have other reasons that politicians may not want to declare their circumstances and situations. Before the instructions for me to be removed from air, let's head on over, Dana, into birthday shout-outs for 2024 January. Yes, we're celebrating. It's January 12th, 2024.
Right, and on screen celebrating a birthday today is Moish Alfred. Moish Alfred is celebrating a birthday today, and we want to say a very, very, very happy birthday to you. We wish you the very best, coming from all of us here at the Tobago Updates family. We want to wish you a very happy and special birthday, Moish.
I think this is even coming from some of his friends in the utility industry.
That's right.
Some of the friends and colleagues across, they're wishing you a very happy birthday. Right. And on screen, we have my very good friend and colleague out there, classmate out of Scarborough Secondary School, Keisha Martin Rodriguez. We want to wish you a happy birthday. And I love the fact that Keisha is life, energy, vibes, takes that time out to ensure she works hard and she plays hard. I subscribe to that philosophy. Want to wish you a very happy birthday, and indeed continued blessings coming from the entire Tobago Updates family. All right, viewers. Adana, who do we have on our rundown this morning?
Right, this morning we're having conversations, of course, that same pan thing we're talking about, we're proud.
Yes.
So we're speaking with Mr. Brian Thomas. He is the chairman of Pan Tobago region, and we're talking about Panorama Small Band Convention's finals updates. Yes, we have to get the updates where that is concerned. We're also speaking with Zav. He's an artist of Sunrise Sessions, and Kristen Campbell, the founder and artist on Sunrise Sessions, the birth of Sunrise Sessions. So we're going to have some conversations and insight as to what this is about and where they are heading. In the sports section, we also speak with Hazel Ann Paul. Hazel Ann Paul is a physical education and sports officer 1, and we're talking about Let Her Play, aerobics burnout. And then we wrap the conversation with Zara Danko, president of Tobago Rugby Classic, talking about Tobago Rugby Classic 2024. So that's our conversation for you here this morning on the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. And before we go to a break, I just want to say congratulations. I saw something on social media this morning, and I just want to say congratulations to Akil Smith. Akil Smith entered the Drift Motion Series competition. His very first entry, the only entrance from Tobago. It's a national event, and he took part in it, his first entrance, and guess what? He came out the winner, and it is reported that it is the first time someone entered for the first time and won on their first appearance. So we want to say congratulations to you, Akil Smith, coming from all of us here at the Tobago Updates Television. And all of Tobago, we are proud every time we hear or see someone from Tobago excelling on a national or international level. We want to say congratulations and continue to make us proud.
And the media is so important in this process. I became aware of it via the news, and you felt a sense of pride.
That's right.
Naturally, hey, Tobago excelling. We're doing good things, and we see it happening there. In terms of taking the prize, yes, video on screen. Certainly, commendations going out. Keep up the great work. Just do it as safely as possible, but keep up the great work.
That's right.
I could see my grandmother say, no, I don't want all in that.
That's right.
Risky, right? But as I say, like anything in life, there's going to be a level of risk involved. But certainly, we are happy that you are representing us out there. Commendations on this achievement. All right, we say quick shout outs before we head on out to the break. Wayne Clark is on with us this morning. I see Carol Fraser Davidson. Good morning to you. Pearl Murray Beard in the mix. Auntie Dora Lyons. Renrick Job. I know connecting with us via TV as well. Lisel James out there. Good morning to you. Marilyn Spence Joefield. You reached just in time. Marilyn Spence Joefield. And my very, very good friend. I see she's on with us this morning. Giselle Boris Vincent. Good morning to the Vincent family.
She's also my cousin. And let me just put it back. I must get some measure of celebrity in this.
We go way back.
That's right. So good morning to you guys, and even our friends on YouTube, Robert McKenzie. We want to say good morning to you, and those of you who are viewing us all the way from Africa. Yes. We see you and we appreciate you so very much. Good morning, and always a pleasure speaking to you on the morning show.
Yes, thank you so much indeed. All right, viewers, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. It's an exciting day. Why? It's Friday. We're heading on into the weekend. So certainly, as we prepare to head on into our next interview, we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Harry here from Authentic Culinary, located right here in Tobago at Storby Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
Don't be fearful or ignorant about diseases. The opportunity to learn how to effectively work with or even reverse sicknesses is here. Do you know someone that is suffering from an illness? You are invited to come and learn in this in-depth, hands-on training program. Call this number and reserve your space in this God-inspired, hands-on medical missionary training program going on in Tobago. See you there.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. It's just at about 7:11 a.m. I'm Julian Skeet, and as we head on into this interview, we are chatting with Brian Thomas, chairman of Pan Trinbago Tobago region. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning to Adana also.
All right, and we're so happy to have you on set. And I almost said Brian Pantrinbago Thomas because when these chairmen get into their position, they are so passionate.
That's right. That's
about
right.
about steel pan. So as we get the conversation started, I know for many of my friends and colleagues, they indicated. The thing got going with preparations in the yards and all of that from late in 2023. Tell us about that energy coming into 2024 and the high before we even start to talk about the small band competition finals.
Well, we came out straight out of the Tobago Carnival where we had Rhythm Steel and Border, which was another excellent production by Tobago. And the Panthers keep buzzing till now, and it will continue until Ash Wednesday. So we have the small bands. We kicked it off with the single pan bands, where we had Metro Stars in the finals, representing Tobago very well there. Then we went into the small band where we had 8 small bands from Tobago qualifying to the semi-finals. And then now we are here 1 week after with 4 bands qualifying for the finals, and Tobago again continue to dominate the small band category because here we have T&T New East Side leading from prelims, semi-finals, and going into the finals. And of course, we can't count all the other bands, the defending champion of Tongue Fascinators, and of course, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, and Our Boys. So we have these 4 bands contending for the first prize this afternoon.
When you have an amount of as much as 8 bands from Tobago, small liquor Tobago, right, competing or qualifying for the semi-finals on the national level, I mean, there must be some measure of commendation to be given, not only to the seat you hold, but also to the band leaders and to the members of these steel band, these steel band clubs. There must be some measure of commendation. What do you think is the reason for the type of passion that they have and the type of drive that causes them to be so committed, not just to the competition, but also to the pride that comes with being able to qualify?
Well, first off, the steel band is our national instrument, although it's not officially proclaimed. It is our national instrument. And then again, the community work, the networking of the youths, the camaraderie, everything that's coming together, the whole atmosphere during this period of time where, where you meet your peers, you're coming up together, the friendly rival, everything comes into the mix and drive that kind of energy and that passion for 8 bands, as you say, in a small community like Tobago, to be able to function. One of the things too is that most of the players are playing interlocking with 3 or 4 bands at least. Then also we also have that friendly rival, although it's a competition, it's also friendly. We help out another band. You see, nowhere else but Tobago, you can see that a band competing another band and helping out that band. And also we have all of that friendly rival going on here.
I want you to share with us as well. For me, this is quite an achievement. Tell us a little bit about the arrangers for these bands that have gotten up there in terms of going forward for this competition.
Well, we started off with 8 bands, and out of those 8 bands, we had 7 arrangers from Tobago. And then we have going into the finals with the 4 bands. We also have 3 arrangers from Tobago, which is Kirsch Ramsey, and he's actually leading the pack with points going into the finals. We have OJ Richards, we have Michael Toby. So those are the 3 arrangers now that are pushing the way forward to get that prize later on this evening. And these guys have been doing a lot of work. They are also like Kirsch. Kirsch is also arranging in the medium category, and also one of the arrangers was Silver Stars in Trinidad. OJ also is arranging in the medium category, Pan Elders in Trinidad and Silver Stars also in Trinidad. And Michael Toby is the arranger in the large category for Redemption Songsetters.
Brian, you mentioned earlier that some of the members play with different bands, right? I know you're saying that the arrangers also arrange for different bands as well. How on earth do you pan men find the time to spread yourself in all these different bands and yet perform with that level of excellence?
It's passion. It is passion, and that's why we should embrace. And I continue to ask the authorities to embrace the steel pan, because when you, as you say, find the time to do all these nice things, you don't have the time to do all the wrong things. So that's why I keep on saying, pan is the crime plan, and I am copywriting that statement. Pan is the crime plan, and that is going to be the mantra for 2024 where Pan Tobago is concerned. Pan is the crime plan.
You make a profound kind of
That's
statement.
right. That's
Give
right.
me a Beverly Ramsey more
That's
in the big
right.
step, man.
That's right. That's right. So is it that you're advocating for pan to be something recognized throughout the entire year, not just for carnival time? We need to get pan in schools, into different youth clubs. Is this what you're advocating for? Because I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes, it's a must, and with that, and when you have the people in the youths in the panten, you don't have that time to make all those mischief. You don't have the time to be involved in gang. So it's not going to be no 6 and 7. The only 6 and 7 you're going to have is 6 base and 7 bases. So that is where we are looking at. So it is important, as I said before, the community center pantens should be the community centers, because they are more active than community centers. So therefore, the Division of Community Development should invest. The school, Panning School, Division of Education should invest. Division of Culture. So it's spread across the different divisions within the THE, and we are asking you all to come on board and let make this thing work, because you cannot go wrong by it. It's a solid plan, and once we get the children off the street, we have less crime and less wrongdoing in the island of Tobago.
Opportunity in an interview like this, because every time I speak to my colleagues, they say generally we would talk and we would say who at the top and the other Tobago bands. I wanted to highlight all 8 before we came down to the 4.
Right. So all 8 bands that qualified for the semi-finals was as TNTech New Eastside I mentioned, leading the pack from prelims till now. We have Uptown Fascinators, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, Our Boys, C&B Concordians, Alpha Pan Pioneers, Westside Symphony, and Plymouth Bettels are Steel Sensation. Those was the 8 bands that went into the semi-finals, and then going into the finals further, we had TNTech New Eastside Dimension, First Citizens Tobago Panthers, Uptown Fascinators, and Our Boys. And I know these bands, we have been practicing all night. We came in wee hours of this morning. You are lucky to get me on this interview right now. And we are also preparing to go down to Skinner Park again in a few hours. So, the traffic, and then they are doing some road works. So we have a very tight schedule. So, but we always prevail when we're back against the wall, and Tobago and the Pan Man is always, built on resilience. So it's no problem to us, man. So we will go and make Tobago proud this afternoon. And let me just add also that Uptown Fascinators are the defending champion. And although they are not leading the pack right now, I know they are coming out hard to defend their crown. However, there's another Tobago band, TNTech Eastside, looking for that crown also, and you can't count out Tobago Panthers and Our Boys in this race.
Excellent indeed. Remind us of the details for later on, those heading there in person, even our viewers across in Trinidad that now deciding, well, definitely are going to be heading there. Remind us of the details for later on.
Right, so the competition is at Skinner Park, San Fernando, the new refurbished Skinner Park. I think this will be the first major event that will be held there after the renovation. Then it starts at 7 p.m. We're going to have 15 bands taking part. Cost $200, another Pan Tobago production. So asking people to come out and help support the steel pan. It will be a really nice event tonight. Also, I would like to see, thanks to the Tobago House of Assembly, to lending some support to the bands, to the 4 bands that done, they came through at last minute and get some support, which was really commendable of them.
All right, Brian, we just want to say congratulations to you, and we want to say all the best to our Tobago bands. We know that you all are going to leave your heart on the stage there tonight. We know that. You have our full support. Sure. Sometimes when you look at social media, you see all the comments coming in from all the supporters. So I know they're going to be locked in. For those of us who can't make it to Skinner Park tonight, they're going to be locked on. They're going to be looking. They're going to be viewing and giving all their support. And you have the support, of course, of Tobago Updates Television. We want to say congratulations from now. We send you congratulations from all now.
Speaking it into me.
That's right. Because we
Tobago will hold on to
That's right. Because I know Tobago, we always bring it knowing that we have to come up against giants. Well, we are building our own giants here in Tobago in the Pan fraternity, in the Pan arena. So we want to say congratulations and all the very best. We will be viewing and supporting you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Brian Thomas, and he is the chairman of Pan Trinbago Tobago region, talking about the finals happening tonight there at Skinner Park. So come on out and support our own Tobago as we take the crown again.
Seriously, it's certainly going to be a movie. I know there are persons looking forward to this from long time. Shout out to my good friend Karine out there. long time. They're looking forward to it. Nothing called Pan that they're missing.
That's right.
They're either following it, they're in person or following it closely on social media, but always are excellent supporters. And I know there are many persons here in Tobago, as well as my colleagues in Trinidad, lovers of this steel pan. And I want to say that's so important, because we got to ensure that this industry continues to thrive. And I'm always particularly happy to see what is now a more positive twist and a more positive spin on this steel pan. It's one of those spaces and places where you can certainly encourage persons to get involved. I think Brian Thomas couldn't say it any better. Certainly, steel pan must be part of the crime plan.
That's right.
In terms of going forward there. So commendations again, indeed. Who do we have coming up next in the lineup?
Up next is Zav and Kristen Campbell, both speaking about the Birth of Sunrise sessions. They are coming up next, so we'll be having that conversation as well. So of course we're asking you to stay with us as we continue our programming, but of course we must go for a short break. And while we head on out to the break, we invite you to share the live. Share the live. We'll be back.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990, and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tattle is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tattle will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tattle, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kombi, and we continue conversations with our guest. This morning we're speaking with Zav, and he's an artist of Sunrise Sessions, and we're going to have that conversation. We're going to find out what this is about and what is the importance and the timeliness of it happening right now. Good morning, Zav, and welcome to the morning show.
Greetings, Adana, and greetings to all the guests tuning in this morning as well.
Right, we're so happy to have you here this morning, and we're talking about something new, the birth of the Sunrise Sessions.
Yeah.
So we want to know what is Sunrise Sessions, what it is about, and what is the thing, the genesis that caused the birth of this particular series.
So Sunrise Session really came out of several conversations that we had between myself and Kristen Campbell. That's the founder and owner of Isolate Media. He's a filmmaker, director, and an artist in his own right too. And we were just in a season where we're creating, but his genre is film, mine is music, and the amount of moving parts that need to come together to put out a body of work, whether film or music or anything, is so much that it sometimes takes long. And the purpose of the art that we create is always to send a particular message, to inspire someone in a particular way, or just to share a part of our story. So we found a simple and effective way to share that using the limited tools that we had every day when we get up, which is a camera, a microphone, and inspired thought that I have every morning, and we record it and share it with everyone because that's the purpose of making the art anyways. So why not take the opportunity to create more content along the lines, and also challenge yourself to think in that way from when you get up on a morning, because we creatures of habit. So the more time you spend thinking and having conversations of a certain nature, the more your brain functions in that way automatic. So we enjoyed it, and then we shared it with the world, and we continue to expand and reach out to more people and capture a minute. That's all it is, just a minute of anything that you would want to share with anyone, that you think could help them along their journey.
Well, I know that you're a guy who always has some measure of inspiration to share with people who are in your space, and even on social media. You're very vocal about the way you think and the way you live, and so it's something very good to look forward to for those of you who are viewing. You said it's 1 minute, right? What, just only 1 minute? And this is something that you record every single day, is it?
Yeah, every day we record it. When we began, it was only me because we live really close, so I just get up and whatever's on my mind and I'll just share it. But as we grow and as we continue to meet with more people, because everybody have something with sharing, it's just sometimes we don't feel brave enough to put it out, or you do have a nice camera to shoot it on, or you're not feeling encouraged because it's you alone here with your camera. Sometimes just having someone there to give you that support is empowering. So we started shooting other people and sharing what they feel and what they want to put out. And those kind of ideas are always worth immortalizing because they're timeless. So 100 years from now, the same way the words of scripture are relevant forever because they're inspired, challenging people to tap into that part of themselves which is within everyone else. It wouldn't exist. Gives every single person the opportunity to do that, and not just share it with your mommy or your daddy or a person, but share it, capture it, immortalize it, push it out into the world.
So this is you giving every other persons an opportunity as well to share their thoughts, to share their feelings, their experiences, and I suppose their projections as well for the future as well. And you're sharing it on a social media platform.
Correct. We share it on Instagram. We share it on TikTok. We haven't built out a Facebook profile for it, but sometimes we share it from our individual pages and we share it on WhatsApp. And it's not just about us giving them an opportunity, it's also an opportunity for us, because as I say, like, we learn so much through interactions in general. So it's like sometimes you just sitting with your own thoughts and think, well, okay, you know, you have nobody to bounce it off of. So it's an opportunity for us collectively to grow, you know, and to train our mind to think and speak in ways that are more wholesome, because, you know, why not? You know, it feels good.
And sometimes it kind of starts a conversation, because somebody's opinion might be different to mine. Somebody's experience is different to mine. So when I hear your opinion, when I hear your experience, of course, it triggers some type of thought pattern in me. It triggers the way, you know, it kind of changes my perspective on certain things as well. So this is something that is very commendable, and I want to continue to encourage you, especially in a time like this where we see the changing face of the world. The world is changing, and people are perceiving things so differently. So, you know, it's kind of a welcomed situation right now to have people share their views and also to experience the views of other people in the same space. What is the most remarkable thing about the Sunrise Sessions for you?
The most remarkable thing for me has been noticing how easily, when you get up in the morning, you start to worry, anxiety steps in, you're contemplating all your challenges for the day. Even though everybody learned to pray when they were small and you know, like, the habit is to worry and think about what needs to be done. But, you know, like, seek ye first. So, but sometimes you need to challenge yourself to do that. So the most remarkable thing for me has been someone like myself who practices so much and is so diligent with being mindful, still finds myself waking up, if I really pay close attention to what's happening up here, in a state of worry, which then releases all sorts of toxins in the body and ages us faster and makes us get sick. And so the most remarkable thing has been challenging myself to go to that place which exists within us, but challenging myself to go there because I have to. I made a commitment. And then observing everyone else challenge themselves to go there, and then notice how quickly, once they're challenged to or encouraged to, they get there.
Right.
There has not been a person we have met, and I'm talking about people when you first say it, tell them, yeah, let's take a minute, and as you say, nah, let's do it, and they say, okay, I will do it, and you press play, they go there because it exists within us, you know. That space, those types of thoughts, they exist from the beginning of humanity. From man exists, man contemplate higher ideas, man contemplate their existence and creation, and man contemplate the self and the emotions, share it.
So how do you select the persons to contribute, or how does one be a part of this movement? If I have a story to share, how do I come on board with you? How do I share my story with you? Or is it that you go looking for people? What is the arrangement with that? How does that work?
The first part is divine inspiration. We just moving around, and if we guided to, we reach out. However, we have partnered with a few organizations. We partnered with Yahweh Foundation. We went up there and spoke to the children, and that was beautiful. We'll be sharing those sessions in this week, actually. And in terms of anyone else who wants to partner, who has a 1-minute gem to share, 1 minute of inspiration, you know, 60-second gem, there's not really that much, just a few seconds. Just message us on Instagram, DM us at Sunrise Sessions. And as you could see on the screen here, it's spelt how it sounds. So it's Sunrise, SESHUNS.
And there must be some genius or some reason for it to be spelled that way? Because, you know, traditionally Sessions is not spelled that way. Is there a reason why you chose that spelling, or can you divulge the reason for why you guys chose to spell it that way?
Yes, I can. It's a simple reason, really. Sunrise Sessions, as spelled as we know it, is unavailable.
All right.
So we were like, all right. We were playing with other names, but this, we felt strongly about it. And I just really like how Sessions look. It look very cool and kind of radical at the same time.
Just like yourself, I might add, just like yourself. You know, I want to say congratulations to you and to your team, your company, and for launching this series on Instagram. I would call it an interactive series because I'm sure people can leave their comments there as well. Sure. And, you know, it's something I'm looking forward to see how it evolves and how many people participate. And as you said, the most remarkable part is the transformation that comes from the people who participate. You know, they take action to their thoughts and their feelings, and they challenge themselves to experience something different. So I want to say congratulations to you and your partner, and for all of you who are interested in being a part of it. Of course, I would invite you, of course, to check out the page there on Instagram. It's Sunrise Sessions. Sessions is spelled SESHUNS Sessions. So you can check them out there and see the content that they disseminate, and see how it affects you and how it impacts you and how you can be a part of it. Just 60 seconds. All it takes is 60 seconds for your gem to be shared and of course uploaded to the channel. Is there anything you would like to share with our viewers in closing?
Follow the page, tune into the sessions. I think we've already said a lot, and not just me, but all the people who have said something. Like, I know we're just in that age of where, like, it's just so much information coming at you rapidly. But the value in tapping into things that feel wholesome, feel healing, center you back is extremely important. Do not forget that. Tap into that part too. Though it may not be on your general feed, find it. You need it. We need it.
Thank you very much, Zav. That's the passion coming there, of course, for bringing this type of content, and of course tapping into your inner self and finding healing in this world that seems to be decaying. But there is hope if we tap into the higher calling that will help us to get there. Thank you so much, Zav, for being here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Zav, and he is one of the artists on Sunrise Sessions, a new platform that encourages us to share our story and to tap in to that which is on the inside of us. We are going to go for a short break before we continue our programming, and of course we ask you to stay with us. We say thank you so much for always choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and as we go for a short break, we invite you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
Embrace growing up. It's like, I think a lot of us kind of running from it, but the more you embrace it, it's like the easier it becomes, and then you realize just how fun it is to like be an adult, you know, because I feel like a lot of us like really want to still be kids, and it's cool. Like it still have moments it could be, but like growing up is exciting, man. It just has so much new shit, so much different things that you could experience, and I think too, allow yourself to also be a child when you get a chance to, and if you ain't get a chance to, then make the chance to, you know. So yeah, I think that's pretty much me there.
Everybody who lives.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish, and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, welcome to the sports segment in Tobago Updates Morning Show. My name is Kerry Porter. So much happening in sport. Just sitting in for Marcus until he gets here. He's virtually. So, good morning, Marcus.
Hey, good morning, Porter. Of course, let me say good morning to viewers of Tobago Updates Television. And of course, the show must go on, no matter if it's physically or virtually. Of course. It's all about Sports and Fridays here on Tobago Updates Sports Television. And of course, we have, as per usual, another informative and packed program this morning.
Mm-hmm. So how everything with you, Marcus? How have it been? I mean, you've been away for some time, and a lot of sport is happening in your area. Before we get into our interview, how things are on your hand?
Yeah, of course. I enjoyed my vacation period in December leading into January. But of course, it's back down to business. We have a packed January with track and field, and then obviously we're planning for the local season in cricket. And so it's all about preparing myself again for another packed schedule. Talk about primary school sports. We're going to start on the 25th of January with our relay festival. And you're going to hear much more about the primary school sport in calendar for this term. Track and field, and of course, number of other things in this space happening right there in Tobago and of course nationally.
All right, good to hear. So many things happening in the world of sport in Tobago. I mean, we have so much sport in action. Tobago Updates is going to bring to you along with Tobago Sports Live. But this morning, we're going to talk about Let Her Play. We have our guest, Miss Hazel. Is she on? Good morning, Miss Hazel.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, particularly the viewers in Tobago.
How are you?
Good morning to you. Yes, good morning to you, Miss Paul.
I am well. I am great. I had a session yesterday for our letter play at Etihad, and I know we had our session for letter play at the Esplanade in Tobago yesterday at 5:30 to 6:30. So I understand the ladies had a fantastic time yesterday. So we are looking forward to seeing them next week, God's willing.
Okay, so let me just dive into my first question. Tell us, what is Pink Rain and what is the main objectives?
Well, the Pink Rain campaign is an initiative that promotes and provides an avenue for women and girls to become involved in physical activities, and specifically physical activities that has a sporting nature. All right. What we intend to do with this program is to provide women with opportunities to become involved in sport, not just the physical aspect as being an athlete, but also the administrative, the support-based parts of sport. So one of our main objectives, particularly for me, I like to look to see if I can find an athlete out of our women. So because some of them, they need an opportunity to be presented to them, and just naturally the skills come forward as they participate in the activities that we offer from our Letter Play Pink Rain campaign.
Yeah, and Marcus here, And of course, thank you so much for joining us on the program. And of course, I mean, any initiative that invites persons to participate in sports, of course, on board with that. Is it that the ministry found that women in sports, girls in Trinidad and Tobago, they weren't participating in sports, hence the reason to start the Spring Crane campaign?
Yes, so one of the main reasons that we started the Pink Rain campaigns, we realized that a lot of our women were very shying away from sporting activities, physical activities. What happens with us is we become very absorbed with becoming the home maker, the mom, the organizer, the doctor, the nurse, and we leave ourselves sometimes undone. And the Pink Rain campaign is giving women opportunities to give yourself 1 hour, particularly our letter play programs. Just give yourself 1 hour in doing something physical, doing something new, doing something in the sporting arena. So we are encouraging women to not to shy away. Give yourself an opportunity in sports. Now, I remember when I was younger, um, my teachers, well, and it may give away my age. My teachers, we used to use sports as punishment, right?
Yes.
Go and do 4 laps, go and do 3 laps. And so persons who may not have been very sporting inclined will hate sports, right? So now, as you get older and you realize that things are happening physically in your body, the doctor is going to tell you, well, go and do some walking or go and do a little jogging or do something. And then you realize you have to come right back to square one, which is getting involved in an activity. So the ministry is now providing these opportunities for women because women, if you know, in sports markets, women have a very short sporting career. It's very short. We have different things that we have to deal with on a monthly basis that men will not have to deal with.
Yeah.
So that you find that our women are short supply in sporting activities, and we are trying to ramp that up in the ministry.
Yeah, and in terms of the response from the public, I mean, are you getting that response from the women and girls?
Yes. Actually, the response has been ramped up in Tobago. Yesterday, for the first session, our officer on ground said that there were about 75 women present.
Oh.
I got a snippet, and there was a girl. She looks like she's 7, and she was in the front row. Right, so I am excited about what I saw in Tobago yesterday, and I really want to encourage the women and particularly the men. Encourage your sister, your wife, your auntie, your mom to come out and give yourself that opportunity to exercise, to be, and particularly Espadal, you have breeze for so. I wish I was over there yesterday.
By the beach.
I wish I was over there yesterday. Yes. I wish I was over there yesterday. Unfortunately, I was not.
I mean, the atmosphere is very lovely in Tobago, as we all know it. Tell us some more about the aerobics and the free Zumba session. Yeah.
All right. So, firstly, the instructor is not a Trinidadian. The instructor is a Tobagonian.
Yeah.
So, it's a son of the soil, as per se. Right? And Mr. Bert Melville, he's our instructor there at Tobago. And these aerobic sessions are geared towards everyone. One of the things we encourage the instructors to do is to be mindful of the unique audience that you will have. You are going to have those who may have an injury. You may have those who are elderly, the young ones, those who are very apprehensive, and curtail the instructing in a way where everyone can enjoy it. And that is one of the main things for us, so that each person, no matter what you are dealing with, could leave and say, I enjoy this boy. I'm coming back. I go and tell my sister, I want to tell her to come down. Yes, I want to tell her to be present. next week. So that is one of the things with the instructing particularly. We encourage all our instructors and we make sure that they have their credentials, so the instructing that will be given to the public is that which will not create issues for them when they go back home. That the instructors will inform them, go at your own pace. Don't try to see somebody knee quite up in the air and you try, you go at your own pace, and just enjoy the session.
Yeah, and I thought the instructor would have been a female, given that you're promoting the women. But no, they're gonna take it as child.
I was trying to get a female instructor in Tobago. Some of them I went to UTT with, and they were unavailable, so I had to, get Mr. Melville. Yes, improvise.
Yes. And tell us, right, how long are you going to have the sessions in Tobago for? Is it that it's going to be the lead up to Carnival? Because I know everybody trying to get in shape for Carnival or trying to get rid of the Christmas punks.
Yes, well, one of the reasons why we have this particular program, Let Us Play Keep On Moving, it's the first leg in our Let Us Play initiative of the Pink Rain campaign. And it's 5 aerobic or Zumba sessions at each location for 1 hour. And it is really for 2 reasons: to help those who are interested in developing a new outlook on their health, and for those who are trying to get in shape for the carnival season. So I know we have 2 catchment groups for certain, right? Those who are they were told by their doctor that, listen, you need to start something. Or those who are saying to themselves, I really want to challenge myself to get in shape, to develop my holistic wellness and wholeness. And we have those who are preparing for Carnival.
Nice. Well, in wrapping up, just remind us again of the days and the times, and invite the Tobago female population to come down also.
Tobago, my name is Hazel Ann Paul, and I'm an officer of the Ministry of Sports and Community Development, Physical Education and Sports Division, and I am inviting you to the Ministry of Sports Pink Rain campaign, Let Us Play Keep On Moving. We are at the Scarborough Esplanade from 5:30 to 6:30. We want to see you there. Come out. It's free. It's free. It's free.
Free.
Fantastic. Yes, thank you so much, Hazel Ann. And of course, once again, I'm also calling on all of Tobago to get down at the Scarborough Esplanade on Thursdays. Free. Your health is your wealth. Yeah, Porter?
Yes. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking rugby. Rugby, Marcus. Rugby in Tobago.
Yes,
I'm excited. I'm so excited. 2 whole days of fun, Saturday and Sunday. Fun in the sun. Rugby. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live.
Yes, you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Stephen to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it's your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next 2 better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62-TATTLE or visit tattle.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tattle Life, a member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Tobago Update Sports Edition. Well, Marcus, we're supposed to be having, let me pronounce this thing properly because my team said I'm pronouncing rugby wrong. So we're supposed to have the guys them here, but unfortunately they wouldn't be here. But we will talk a bit about it, Marcus. I mean, it's something exciting for Tobagonians and exciting for us in the sporting community.
Yeah, and I was actually looking forward to hearing from the organizers of this particular event, just to get an insight as to what's rugby sevens, because it's a popular sport around the world. In fact, some of the other countries that will normally participate in rugby sevens, you see the support that they get, from supporters and TV rights and all these different things. And to have it here in Tobago at the Short Park Recreation Ground, I wanted to get more from the organizers. But there's the flyer, Porter. Starts tomorrow at the Short Park Recreation Ground, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So it's a full day.
9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's a lot of rugby.
Yeah, and it's important that we have these not so popular, and I say not so popular, the traditional sports that we have in Tobago: cricket, football, tennis to an extent, or basketball, track and field. We don't really hear of rugby, but we know for a fact do have a Tobago Rugby Association. I usually see them practice at the Color Hall Recreation Ground. So I'm happy that they have an event in which they can put all that they have practiced into play. I'd love to hear from the guys as to how many teams are going to be participating. Are we going to have Tobago teams? How many Tobago teams? So hopefully in this afternoon's sportscast, we're going to hear more about this rugby tournament scheduled to take place over the weekend here in Tobago. It adds to our sport tourism thrust. I understand that the person behind this event, she's a Tobagonian. She has been based in Germany, I believe. It's
Germany. Yes, Germany. She plays also in Germany for a team there.
Yes, she's participating in the German Bundesliga, rugby 15s, I believe. And to bring what she has actually learned back to Tobago, commendable on her part. So I think her name is Zara. Zara, yes.
And actually, I'm going to ask you guys them to see if they could send a Femix call link to her. So if we can at least get her on to say something, I think she's available. So whilst we talk up more about rugby, the guys are going to see what they can do.
Yeah. Have you actually played rugby before, Porter?
Boy, that sport is rough. My good friend, Kamisa Lincoln, she plays it. And when I go and watch the sport and I watch her play after she's come, it's pains. But I mean, she have the size to take off the jumping and these things. So I am good. And see me, my frame is something like yours.
As you mentioned, Miss Lincoln, I saw her officiating a football match. I think it was on Monday, and she had cause to give a player a red card. A little more her rugby skills would have been needed because I saw the player almost got physical. So it's important for officials to actually get some rugby practice under their belts if it is that you need to officiate games in Tobago. But I want to commend the organizers once again for choosing Tobago to have this event. I remember some years ago, Porter, we used to host the Caribbean Rugby Sevens. It was a massive event at the Blackcock Recreation Ground and also Calum Bonaccord Recreation Ground.
And at Mount Pleasant also they had.
Yeah, and the support for rugby. I mean, guys associate rugby with beer drinking as well. So I think it's something that I will want to support a lot at Shore Park tomorrow. Getting some beers and some play. And even for the Commonwealth Youth Games we had, earlier last year, sorry, we saw how attractive and exciting rugby can be at the Shore Park Recreation Ground. We had some of the youngsters coming here. I mean, they looked the age group was like around 18, but when you saw the guys on the field, they were massive, and there must be a physical aspect of things when it comes to rugby. I think I have the build, but I don't have the technique at all. It's a sport I will stay very far from.
Very far from.
On the other sidelines, I mean, I know you guys are still trying to get Zara. I really hope you can get
yes,
her
we're
on.
trying to get Zara.
But you've seen the entrance fee there is only $50, I believe, to get in at Shore Park, and I'm sure that they're going to be entertainment. And folks from Trinidad, I spoke to Don. He's a part of the rugby union in Trinidad, and he tried to get some local suppliers involved. So I'm happy to hear that as well. So the come to Tobago, but they're not going to bring their people from Trinidad, where food is concerned and all these different things. They're trying to utilize persons in Tobago, and this is what sport tourism brings. I'm sure car rentals, the hotels, the guest houses, bed and breakfast, all these different things will be put in place for this particular event, and I welcome these initiatives. Albeit it's going to be for 2 days, but Tobago is going to be a beehive of activities over the weekend where rugby is concerned. And not moving off rugby, but we do have a big match added by Turkcedem today, Porter, where Phoenix, they are going to be playing against Central FC the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League Tier 1. They have had a rough start, I must say, winning one of their I think 6 games, but they are up against Central FC, who are at bottom of the table. And I dare say, if they can't get past Central FC today, I have to call my good friend Mr. Kenneth and pull out the belt.
Exactly.
But I expect
morning to you, Kenneth, and the guys, the coach and everybody. I mean, I'm looking forward for this game this evening. This is big. This is big. I mean, we started to win. I hope and I continue and I pray that we continue to win, because I want to see Phoenix FC come up to the top of the table. The guys are doing very well. I'm so proud of the team, so proud of the coaches and all the technical aspect. Everything is happening. They're gelling now, Marcus. They're gelling now.
Yeah, and I mean it's early days, I must say, and I'm very happy that the coach he was very realistic in terms of what they want to achieve from this season, in that they want to finish around mid-table. They are with the big boys now. Having played unbeaten in the Tobago Football League firstly, and then unbeaten in the Tier 2, to obviously being promoted to the Tier 1, where they are actually playing against the best in the country. And I've seen them play against some of the previous teams, and what's lacking is finishing. They have competed, but obviously goals win matches, and they haven't been able to finish some of the good moves and the good build-up they would have had. And I'm hoping that come today against Central FC, they will walk away with 3 points and their second victory in the season. So good luck to the Phoenix team. CLB is love, and of course their tagline is "Our time to rise." So I'm hoping that they get that victory later on today, and it will be a good precursor for, of course, the rugby personnel who are here.
I was checking to see. I think she's logged in. Let's see if we can keep some time from the technical team. Producer, can we get? Are you seeing Zara?
Yeah, we can take time in the portal because they normally take more time.
So we have Zara. Good morning, Zara.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I wish you were here so we could talk more. We barely have time, so we're just going to talk a bit. Just give us a quick overview, what we're to expect tomorrow and Sunday.
So tomorrow is going to be the big local Tobago Rugby Classic tournament. It will be in Shore Park. And we have registered over 15 teams. We anticipate over 15 teams. We have juniors, that's under 16. We have women's, we have men's, and we have the older guys as well running a little game. So we have games for everybody.
Are we gonna be also seeing you in play as well?
Hopefully, yes. I hope so. We have a little women's team in Tobago, and we want to come out and play as well.
Yeah. So Zara, I understand that you are playing professionally in Germany, and of course you are Tobagonian and proud. I mean, just give us a little insight as to your career as a rugby player in Germany.
In Germany, currently I'm playing for the 15 Bundesliga team. We are at the top of the table still.
Yeah,
So
yeah, applause that man. Yeah, man.
At the top of the table. And honestly, sevens is different from 15s. So 15s is a bit slower, the game is longer. And here, what we're doing in Tobago, the sevens is only 14 minutes and 7 people per side. And I only recently started on the Bundesliga team as well because due to Corona, we had to take 2 years off, and I'm hoping to reach to a higher level when I get back. Yeah. So this tournament is like a build up for me as well.
Is it also a scouting ground for you, looking for an additional talent to take with you back to Germany?
Yes. Honestly, yes. I didn't tell them, but I will be looking at potentials and, showing video footage and sending it to everyone that's scouting over there.
Fantastic. And we here in Tobago are very proud of you. You are, of course, a Tobago ambassador where rugby is concerned. And of course, why should Tobago come down to Shore Park tomorrow and Sunday?
Well, for the first time in, I think, about 10 years, Tobago actually has 4 teams coming out. 2 junior teams and, 1 men's team and 1 women's team. That's the most teams that has come out of Tobago in a very long time, to be honest. And I believe that if they see the people coming out, it would influence them to just continue training, continue doing everything over the next couple of years, because rugby is not a popular sport in Tobago, unfortunately. Yeah. And if the people see it, maybe they might be more influenced to join, send their kids, all that stuff.
All right, well, I want to say thank you very much, Zara, for coming on. We're running out of time. I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. Tobago Sports Live and Tobago Updates. It's going to be at Shore Park. We're going to take the games live from 9 o'clock until I'm not too sure when, but I know we are going to be there. We are going to cover it in full with commentary. Looking forward to exciting 2 days come this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Good luck. Yes, ma'am.
Well, Marcus, this is where we have to go. The guys are on me. We're out of time. You know what, Marcus? We had to sit down with these producers and get this hour. We have to get this hour, Marcus.
Yes, indeed. Porter, thank you so much for filling in. You look very comfortable in the sofa here. I want to thank the producer.
Brand new set.
Extra time. Tobago, get down, let the Shore Park tomorrow. And of course, support the Rugby Sevens. Thank you so much for
TFA off to look at TFA this weekend. Lots of football playing. Yes. Thanks for everyone who come on board to help us sponsor for the commentary. We're looking also to get more into sports, into Tobago updates. Cricket is coming up. I'm actually talking with the producers. Last night I had a conversation with the producer and I ran something by him, right? Yes. Well, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we're working on something. Tobago Updates and Tobago Sports Live collaborating. We're going to bring sports really big to Tobago and the wider world. So look out for that, guys. Marcus, it's been good here. You take care.
Yes, man. Have a great day, buddy.
All right. So, guys, thanks for joining us this Friday. See you next Friday. So many sports. We're going to update you. Remember, tune into Tobago Sports Live, Tobago Updates, our newscast. We're going to bring our sports. We're going to bring all the entertainment. If you are an Amplia, channel 1 and 2, that's the place to be. So long. Have a great, wonderful weekend. Remember, drink lots of water. Try to stay away from junk food. And try to eat healthy. Share the life, share the life, share the life.
welcome to Venebois. We are having our wine tasting this evening, and it's a chance for the students to really showcase the skills that they're learning here at the Institute and put them into practice. So this lovely ambience has been created by the students with the guidance of head chef Sonia Phillip and the rest of the team. They have been crafting a menu to pair with the wines. It is one of the series in our international cuisine course, and there are more events to come, culminating in our brunch, which is held early in December. So stay tuned.
So we have a number of finger foods that we have on display from the two continents, Africa and Asia. There are a few more student dinners coming in the months of November and December. You can come and give us your support. Your support will be well appreciated, the students, to taste our hands and taste what we have been learning to create.
And as you can see, it's a lovely evening, and we're actually looking forward to many more evenings like this. I'd like to see corporate Tobago get involved. I'd like to see industry stakeholders get involved and support these students as we invest in the future of tourism and hospitality on the island.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. After 2 decades in storage, TADCO unveiled the fishing vessel TFG 2165, christened Karen, and set bait equipment to launch a live bait industry. Donated by the Japanese government, this equipment has remained unused. TADCO Chairman Ricardo Arthur stated that the initiative aims to establish a sustainable live bait industry in Tobago. The vessel is specially designed for Tobago's waters, and the equipment uses environmentally safe methods, ensuring the release of large marine animals without any harm. However, in the coming weeks, TADCO and the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association and local fishermen will assess, repair and test the equipment at Plymouth with plans for implementation in other bays like Castara and Palatavere. Up next, political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Anson Dennis, emphasized the importance of autonomy for Tobago in a recent press conference. He recalled the shared understanding in 2016 that Tobago autonomy extended beyond personal and political interests. Dennis advocated for a consensus, suggesting parties should either agree to disagree or prioritize the majority view over personal perspectives. Reflecting on the 2016 legislative process, led by former Chief Secretaries of London and Ho Choi Charles, Dennis highlighted that no bill passes in its original form, as legislation involves debates, seeking advice, and compromises. Acknowledging diverse opinions during the process, he noted that there is some support for certain aspects of the bills, while others seek improvements. And finally, the Integrity Commission has initiated ex parte High Court action against 18 individuals in public life, seeking court orders for their declarations. This addresses only part of the issue, as 372 individuals have failed to comply with declaration requirements despite names being published. Initially, 461 names were published for non-compliance, and 89 individuals voluntarily complied. However, On January 10th and 11th, ex parte action began against 18 applications, urging the High Court to mandate submission. And that was the news in 90 seconds. And jumping straight on into our conversation this morning, we are starting things off with someone to talk to us about mixing health with artificial intelligence, or AI. You know, we've been hearing quite a lot about the strides being made in AI around the world. And there is one doctor here in Trinidad and Tobago who is seeking to integrate AI with health services. So we're going to hear a bit more, and we're going to now connect with Dr. Navi Muradali, who is a doctor and dental surgeon. So a special good morning to you, Dr. Muradali. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you very much, Candice, for having me on Tobago Updates. Good morning to the people of Tobago.
Certainly. So now, first of all, just tell us a little bit about who you are. And before we get into this whole talk about artificial intelligence and so on, and some of the things that you're doing there.
Well, I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I've jumped into the digital wellness field. So what we do is we build digital wellness apps for customers, mostly people who are supplying employee wellness programs for their employees at work. So I've had a lot of experience in medicine, and I've dived across to the tech world, and now it's an exciting world with AI.
Like I said, has been taking over the world by storm, and it's improving rapidly. It's growing so fast, like it's hard to keep up. But you're here, I mean, in Trinidad and Tobago, we haven't quite caught into it as much as yet, but you're hoping to integrate it into some of our healthcare systems. So tell me a little bit about what you've been trying to do.
Correct. So, Candice, basically everyone has the potential to use AI on their phones. Everyone has a smartphone. I think you could agree that everyone, Trinidad and Tobago, even in the wider Caribbean, we all have smartphones. We have internet, because everyone is using WhatsApp at this point in time. So what we've decided to do is partner with the Human Resource Management Association of Trinidad and Tobago, HRMAT. And what HRMAT does is that they have members in the companies that provide employee wellness programs for these employees. And what we have tried to do is to incorporate the digital wellness app. So you basically give an app to the employees, and they would have a list of well-curated services such as mental health counseling. And that's a big thing. We have a lot of anxiety, depression in the society. It incorporates personal trainers, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and vets, and the list goes on. So when you have this on your phone, then the next best thing to do is to add AI to it, because what AI would do now is speed up the entire process when you're trying to search for someone. So for example, let me give you the example. If you're in Roxborough, Charlottesville, Scarborough, and you're looking for a gym, you're looking for a personal trainer, you're looking for a doctor, and you're one of these employees, you will be able to use the AI to help you search for it. Now, of course, you could say, well, I can go on Google and do it. But what are the chances of you getting someone who is reputable, someone who can actually do the service you're looking for? So what the AI does is that we have trained the AI to find specific services that we know are respectable practices, especially for when it comes to the healthcare profession. So the impact of it is great. We certainly want to add value to the people of Tobago, people of Trinidad, people of the Caribbean, with respect to getting this digital wellness service. And of course, it will be assisted by AI that has been trained. And that's the important thing. Omni, that's the name of our AI. Omni has been trained in Trinidad and Tobago to be able to respond to the needs of our people.
And how easy is it to use?
When you use WhatsApp, you send a friend a message. Hi, how are you going? What are we doing later? That's it. It's a search bar, and you just type in the question that you have. So you say, I'm looking for a doctor. I'm looking for a wellness provider. I'm looking for a gym in Charlottesville. I'm in Speyside right now. We're not feeling too well. Where's the nearest clinic or hospital. It's as simple as just typing in a search. So there's nothing complicated about it. But it's right now being provided to employees through Hermat. We are not necessarily there for the, it's not open to the public at this point in time. But once you are an employee, I'm sure your company will be looking to contact Hermat, Patient Connect that I represent. And, we can provide the information on it, but it's very cost effective and it's very, very simple to use.
And then what about other services in terms of, diagnosis of health problems, suggestions of treatments and that sort of thing? Is this part of your goal going forward to provide all these services along with that AI?
Yes. So healthcare professionals don't have to worry about, losing their jobs. This is not going to replace anyone's job. This is a support tool to help persons get access to information faster. So yes, the AI can tell you, it's not going to diagnose your condition. It may give you some helpful tips. It may give you some information, resources. It can tell you, how to book an appointment, how, what conditions are similar to what you're saying and that type of thing. But it's not going to make a diagnosis. The diagnosis is left by a doctor. For example, if you have to get a mental health counseling and you type in anxiety, it may give you a couple pointers, maybe take some deep breaths, relax, but certainly contact someone on the app who's dealing with mental health counseling. So in terms of diagnosis and treatment, that's not the role of AI. The role of AI is really to support the healthcare professionals. You do know that since COVID, there's been a major burnout of nurses and doctors and mental health counselors, everyone in the healthcare profession. So this is really here to support them so that we don't get burnt out again for any reason. So it's really a support tool.
And I know that a part of this technology is also monitoring the patients and so on that may be seeking services from the doctors. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, so it's exciting times. When I used to do some health clinics in Tobago, Tobagonians may not have that many diabetics, but a lot of them suffer with high blood pressure. And what we do with the AI is that persons who have the app, they can enter their blood pressure readings daily or their blood sugar readings daily. And the AI will look at the trend, see if it's high, see if it's low over a period of time. And it will actually send you a message saying that your sugar levels have been off. They're not consistent with, the condition that the levels that you want. Same thing with the blood pressure. It will give you this information about the blood pressure. So what we are trying to do is to make what we call remote patient monitoring very accessible to all. And what that does is that it means that instead of having to wait 3 months or 6 months to go back to the doctor to show them these readings, this is being interpreted in real time by the AI, and it's generating a response to you via maybe your WhatsApp, via your email, saying that I don't like these levels, and I think you need to contact the doctor. And we also have members of our health team who will be reaching out to persons who we find, based on the reports that we get from the AI, while they're tracking these sugar levels and pressure levels, we can make that intervention. So early intervention means a better outcome because we could stop you from being admitted to a hospital and then being readmitted to the hospital.
And it can also help with wait times in terms of what you're speaking, because, so some of our elderly folks in particular, they're always in the clinics every week and so on. So that could prevent even like some of the hours that they're sitting there waiting on services.
Well, the intention of telehealth, right? And telehealth was something that we heard about during the pandemic. Now, I have been in the medical profession for over 20 years. And yes, I've used telehealth before COVID. But during COVID, telehealth became huge. And it's not necessarily just talking to the patient, like how we're talking right now. It's not just talking on a video call. One of the utilities of telehealth is what I spoke about: remote patient monitoring your condition at home. Then you have these wearable devices, things that you could wear on your hand, and in real time, we can get information about what's going on with your sugar, your blood pressure, oxygen, breathing patterns, that type of information. For elderly persons waiting in these clinics, sometimes for hours, and I mean, if you're in Trinidad, you know a lot of traffic, some bad roads to get to the clinics. In Tobago, I think things are a lot better there. It's a smaller place, you have, better roads to access the health centers. But the main thing is that we want to be able to support elderly persons as well in understanding their health better. And we have a lot of health educators on these platforms that would, reach out to persons one-on-one, make a phone call with somebody when they're at home and talk to them about their condition. Tell them, what you're eating today. Have you taken your medication? Are you getting any side effects, any problems? And that is one of the things that we do on the platform. Now, this is not AI driven, but it's one of the tools that we use where a human will contact someone to really just follow up on their condition. So a lot of these services and digital wellness apps, it's definitely something being used now across the world. We have introduced it in Trinidad, Tobago. We are going to Barbados in March, Jamaica thereafter. So we want to make it a regional platform. And in addition to making it a regional platform, this is really the way that we're going to create e-medical tourism, right? You probably heard about medical tourism. People come to countries to go and get medical treatment. People come to Tobago to relax. That is part of medical tourism. The doctor says you need to relax. Go to Tobago, relax on Pigeon Point for a few days. Taking the sun, sea, and so forth. So we're really trying to create that e-medical tourism awareness as well using these platforms. And we really look forward to, what's in store for the rest of this year by introducing these platforms.
And how can people get connected with it? I mean, because from what you're saying, it sounds really great. Something that, especially for those folks that have the elderly people at home, how can they be part of that platform?
Right. So right now we offer it to Hermat, as I said, so they can visit Hermat's website. That's www.hrmatt.com, hermat.com. They can go onto Hermat's website and they can get information there. So once they contact Hermat, the company representative will be able to speak to a Hermat representative and they could introduce it to their employees. As I said, at this point in time, it's not available to the wider public. That is being worked on, but right now it's just through companies for their employees.
And how long before we can see it being open for the wider public?
Well, we are talking to various partners, hoping that, they introduce it to the wider public. So I think within the next 6 months, that platform should be available to the wider public. But as I said, it's available to employees at the moment. And if they contact their HR department, the HR department can talk to Hermat and they could probably try to get it introduced into their company.
All right, great. So Dr. Miradali, I just want to thank you so much for being on with us and for sharing this wonderful initiative with us, and we certainly wish you best of luck to have it implemented and more widely used, because this has a lot of benefits, especially for those families who do have those elderly or people who require frequent monitoring of their health conditions and so on.
Thank you very much, Candice. Thank you very much.
All right, well, viewers, we're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back right after this.
Yes, you come in. Long time I see you, Joe. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you can't depend on Kevin neither, Stephen to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home the whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know.
I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay.
Alright.
Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs, carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storby Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
Welcome back to Tobago, to GMT this morning. I just about forgot what show I was on, but that's okay. You know, viewers, we are getting into our next conversation this morning. But before we get into this conversation, we have a very interesting year ahead of us. From the TNT Met Office, they are predicting a drier than normal year, which means that we got a lot of hot conditions expected. So if 2023 was hot, well, 2024 is going to be even hotter from the predictions from the TNT Met Office. But it also means that when there are some periods of rains and so on, it can be a little bit more intense than we've seen. And of course, these are associated with the changes we are seeing associated with climate change and all of that that's happening here in the world, you know, as just things are changing globally. But of course, to talk to us about some of those things and to get into the preparations for in case some of those things do happen within our space, we are being joined by the director of the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Alan Stewart, of course, who is no stranger to us. So a special good morning and welcome to you, and season's greetings.
Good morning. The pleasure
Blessings for the New Year's.
Presence once more to discuss such an important topic. You know, I've been listening to the program this morning. Quite interesting. The AI, wow, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting times that we're living in. And
That's
as we wrapped up last year, 2023, the TEMA was at the Joint Select Committee talking about their reports and stuff, their equipment and whatnot. And one thing that you guys mentioned was that you are having some challenges.
Yeah, we spoke about an aging fleet and things like that, yes.
Yes. So what's been happening since then? Since that was publicized, has there been any change or any movement towards getting some of your equipment, especially taking advantage of the time where it's a dry season, very, very dry season to start. So we do actually have some time to, you know, put some effort into fixing our infrastructure.
Yeah. Well, the answer to your question is yes. We have seen drastically improvements in terms of since our last conversation. There were commitment from the very highest level. You know, I think in my last interview I would have hinted to you that the chief would have whispered something in my ears and say, Stuart, you're getting your stuff so and so and so. So yes, those things have been there in the pipeline. We were talking about, you know, hoping that the gate valve will be open sufficiently that, you know, you will get that gush coming of those goodies. Yes, so the vehicles are on their way. It's a matter of going through the process of having them painted and also outfitted with the necessary tools. So yes, that is on. I heard you spoke about global warming at the start of our conversation, and I couldn't help but reflect on a gentleman by the name of Wallace. He's a geochemist, or was a geochemist because he's now passed. He's a US geochemist that first signaled to the world of the threat of global warming. And all that we speak about today, even when you speak about this dry spell that we are going into, my mind quickly went to 2003. And then we saw what happened in 2004, 2005, and even 2003, where so there was this very high, harsh, dry spell. And as you speak about it as a quiet moment, I recall the amount of bushfires we were experiencing. Yes. And as a result of those bushfires, by 2004, when they were occurring in the hills, and then you had the tropical storm winds that of Ivan, really messed up things. Those trees came down, and you find that those are some of the fuel that led to the kind of landslides that we experience in the east. So my mind just ran on that. Wallace Brooker in 1975 said to the world that he signaled to the world that we are on the brink of the onset of global warming. And as we reflect, just coming out of the COP28 that took place in Dubai, it's important for us to understand in Tobago what exactly is happening, with the globe. There is a huge global agenda, understanding that the severity of the threat and where we are with our goals when we talk about the SDGs and how important they are. It will help shape our conversation this morning, because when you talk, it's about sustainable development, and therefore we have to understand that we are in the midst of these threats. How do we interpret them? How do we prepare for them going forward? What we have done so far, how do we maintain it going forward? How do we build on those layers to prepare ourselves for what has become a very dangerous place to live?
Certainly. And then, as you're mentioning those things, we cannot stop a lot of these extreme disasters and so on that will inevitably happen, but we can't prepare for them. And as we're talking this morning about this next year, or this year I should say, 2024 being a hotter year, we don't just have to be concerned about our atmospheric temperatures. We have to also be concerned about our sea temperatures and the effect that's going to have. It means that our coral reefs are at risk, and we know when our coral reefs experience those coral bleaching episodes and stuff, they die, and then it leaves our coastlines vulnerable. And when it leaves our coastlines vulnerable, when we do have that storm that comes, it's going to cause way more damage than we've experienced. Yeah. So then it goes down to how do we prepare for something like that?
If I were to summarize it in one sentence, we have to join the rest of the world. There's a global agenda to decarbonize the earth. Mm-hmm. And fossil fuel must go, and the world is moving in that direction. And for small island states, small island developing states like which we are part of, this archipelago of islands, hold the short end of that stick, that everything that is coming from east of us towards us on a yearly basis. So we have two very harsh seasons, which is the rainy season and the dry season, and therefore within that you have subtle hazard coming out of each that type of weather phenomena. whether it's in the dry season. You know, one of the studies that came out from one of the COF that they held here somewhere in Trinidad some years ago, they pointed out the health issues that surrounds dry season. And we were saying, well, what? And they pointed out, yes, the health sector was saying you see a rise in dengue as a result of when there is a shortage of water, people store the water, and if it's not stored properly, then they start breeding mosquito, and then you have outbreaks. Subtle things like that. Then the burning and things like that, you have those issues. And then with the rainfall, we have seen what happened. I just mentioned that. So it's important for us to move in a particular direction. So we at TIMA, we recognize that, you know, it's all about resilience, and therefore we have started some work. About 2 years ago, we started an engagement with the help of the Japanese government. Mm-hmm. It has been the ambition of the Tobago House of Assembly to decentralize resources, a very unique program that we would have started many years ago. And the current assembly really bought into the concepts, and they further push it to the point where this grassroots project that was funded by the THA and also the Japanese grassroots fund, saw us being able to rebuild a center, a service that we once provided on the eastern end of the island.
And that's in Speyside.
In Speyside. You saw what happened. Mm-hmm. The rest of the island was enjoying very powerful sunshine.
Yes.
And the rain was what the old people will say, falling cats and dogs in Charlottesville. They were just...
And that was the week before Christmas.
That's right. And I've seen that happen a couple years ago. I think in 2003 and around 2011, you saw weather of that type, whereby just before Christmas, we had these events. And it puts a twist on things, and therefore it means therefore that our thrust towards decentralization of resources is an imperative one. And the vision back then was to ensure that we maintain 2 centers, one on the north, which is another critical area. You know, based on the studies, you recognize that these slopes really poses problems, block roads, down trees, power lines are disrupted so often. And also, we saw in the east the imperative of having that center. It reached to a stage just a few years ago where we were kind of violating occupational health and safety, and therefore when they did the examination, they recognized that, listen, this is a very old building and it's better it comes down and then rebuilt. Mm-hmm. And therefore the rebuilding process, it's about 90% completed. So that is one of our mega projects that the Tobago House of Assembly have stated. It's one of our very important projects, priority projects, and therefore it's like 90% completed. Mm-hmm. And we will see going into the final phase within this next quarter, this coming to completion, and therefore it will return that level of service to the east of the island that is so very necessary.
And certainly, and I mean, if it's anything, that episode that happened just before Christmas, that rain episode, that tells you the importance of needing that there. And I've been around enough to know some of TIMA has been very proactive in terms of performing these exercises, simulation exercises in Charlottesville in particular.
Yes.
For events such as this. Mm-hmm. Now, so on just before Christmas, you guys got to put some of that into action. And, you know, between the simulation exercises that you guys have been doing repeatedly, almost on an annual basis, and just dealing with that episode, what do you think that you need to improve on in terms of being able to meet the concerns or treat with the events that happen in those communities?
One of the things is that community engagement is another critical imperative. Mm-hmm. The structure of our organization today lend itself to the staffing of allowing us to do those community outreach. We have started that process last year. We have joined ourselves with regional exercises. We have participated and will continue to participate in these regional exercises, national exercises. Like I know in the upcoming months ahead, the need is back on the table, so we will be having what is known as the National Emergency Exercise Day. We'll be pushing that. We'll want Tobago Updates to be a part of it. You know, we are trying to engage also the other agencies and also the other sections and departments of the Tobago House of Assembly to get everybody on board. I think it is very important where leadership is concerned that that is demonstrated. You know, sometimes we tend to push towards the domestic, but to me, a gateway to the domestic sometimes is through these sectors where it is demonstrated and it becomes, yes, something of importance. And we have to demonstrate it. We have seen the changing of the guards even from administrations, and therefore there are new players in the space that plays key role. And so exercising allows you to simulate what can happen, what are the standard operating procedures, what are the protocols, what are the precedents set over the years, so the actors in the game know exactly. So when it comes to time to take off the training wheels and when it's happening for real, one can see a type of response that could only be dubbed as professional. So these training opportunities are critically important, and we'll be participating in them as we go along. And you will see more of that in the month of May as well, where we will join our partners in Trinidad through the ODPM. We'll be having, it's designated as the Hurricane Preparedness Month. We saw the acceleration of that last year, where we did 2 sessions, one in Scarborough and one in Roxborough, where we engage the community. And so these are some of the things that we will be doing as it relates to exercising.
Now, one of the initiatives, as you mentioned, you touched on it a bit before, about CERT, and specifically the CERT 1000 Strong. How far are we along with that? I know that it's an ongoing project. It started a few years ago. So tell me, because I mean, that of course is going to be part of making sure we have that community engagement that is very strong on the ground, that can respond in any community throughout Tobago whenever something happens.
Yeah, it is all part of our initiative where the MCR is concerned, making cities smart and resilient. So it's important for us to understand that that level of engagement, you know, we started this 5-year project and we have seen a steady pace of persons enrolling into the program, and therefore we are quite confident that it's the way to go. The way to go in the sense that what you need to do while there are emergencies, we have to prepare ourselves for a catastrophic event. I'm very mindful as to what happened in 1963 to Tobago.
Hurricane Flora.
Hurricane Flora. This was a Category 3 event. From the time you start to get into the Category 3s, you're talking about major storms. And therefore, it's a reality that we live in the hurricane belt. The hurricane belt begins at 7 degrees north of the equator. Even though you hear some people say otherwise, but that's the truth. And our history has proved that. And therefore, there is a strong possibility that we can be impacted. I remember in 1933, a storm would have passed through the south of Trinidad. That tells you Trinidad is at 10 degrees north of the equator. We are at 11. And therefore, it's important for us to understand those dynamics and understand and learn from our history. So the CERT 1000 Strong is that type of program that bring numbers to the table, where I always say the quality is in the quantities. You know, it's a new coin, you know, phrase. And these numbers really matters, especially when you have events that you can classify it as being catastrophic and require all hands on deck. But what kind of hands do you want on deck? You want persons that are trained. You want persons that understand these hazards. You want persons that are equal to the task in terms of tooling. You want persons that are equipped with the necessary PPEs and are well rehearsed, that while the ambition of the community during such events, and I saw that in 2003, 2004, 2005, where volunteers came forward. But if they are not trained, if they are not tooled properly, sometimes they risk themselves of becoming damaged. And in this global space, we pride ourselves here in Tobago as running an efficient system, and therefore it is our ambition to ensure that Tobago is equipped for that catastrophic event by enhancing and improving on the CERT 1000 strong program.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Now, another part of that preparedness is our shelters. And I remember before there was TEMA, there was NEMA. And back then, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, there were, the push to have our shelters established. There were maps created as to exactly where all the shelters were and so on. Mm-hmm. What's happening with our shelters? Where are we in terms of making sure that in our communities, there are places where people can go and people are aware of where they can go in the event of something happening? Yeah,
the shelter program is one that was very easy for us. Operating in the Tobago space sometimes can be a bit easier for us in this 300 square kilometers. So very early in 2003, thereabout, we started decentralizing resources around the island in certain specific shelters. I will not go through some of the names. We live in different times now. Yes. People make their shopping by these buildings. But but it became important to decentralize, but not only that, after the 2004 and 2005 events, we recognized there was something missing, and that was the area of the manpower to make it all work. Open a building and say it's a shelter doesn't make it a shelter. You have chaos within the building, and therefore shelter management is part of the rudiments of ensuring that there is a certain level of management at the community level where sheltering is concerned. Over the years, fortunately for us, we have seen the Tobago House of Assembly put a lot into these multi-purpose facilities, whereby they are larger, they are bigger, and sometimes I think around that time they started building a room specifically for TEMA to house and to decentralize resources. It's not the ideal, meaning therefore there are three categories of shelters on the island. Right? And I think that speaks to nationally as well, where we have primary, our community centers and multipurpose building are the primary shelters. The schools are secondary, and alternatives are other buildings like churches and things like that. That is for the catastrophic event. Shelter management becomes an important element, and therefore this year we will continue to have training for shelter managers. It's a process that began and was strengthened last year, but because of the knowledge we have of the councils change very rapidly sometimes. So the people you see there probably 2 years ago, you go back, they are not there. So training has to be continuous, and therefore with a new cadre of persons coming onto the scene, we are hoping to get them engaged. Even we have started exposing the CERT 1000 strong registrants to shelter management training as well. It is still a volunteer effort. I remember one chief secretary when he was running an operations, when we had an activation, he said, why these people are not there? And then he learned that they are volunteers. And he said, they are volunteers? And that was one of the things that he thought that he would have liked to see a change, some sort of a way to ensure that you have what they call predictiveness, meaning therefore, if you wanted to open at 8 o'clock, volunteerism sometimes can't cut it. It doesn't allow for that sustainability. Mm-hmm. We learned that early. That's the reason why we have the CERT professionals, because you want predictiveness. You want to know that if there is something happening now on the north side, there is somebody who can respond in the community and do something. You know, voluntarism sometimes just don't allow for that to happen, but it have its use. So that's where we're going to strengthen that program going forward. Yep.
What about having a policy document in terms of how you manage shelters, so that, you know, even in the middle of the training happening or a change of heads or whatever the case may be, there is...
Yes, that is critically important. We saw that becoming very evident and needy during COVID-19. We had to do things differently, Candice. We had to, our spaces were reduced because you require safe distances. You have to determine how do you treat with somebody showing up with that type of communicable disease in a shelter space. How do you deal with it in a disaster forum? So the Pan American Health Organization, along with the WHO, would have come up with certain protocols that are necessary, and we started that program of training people as to how do you manage the shelter even under those adverse conditions. You know, that becomes important.
And then as we're speaking about PAHO and WHO and so on, team has been very good too over the years of connecting with regional and international partners to make our disaster preparedness better, and also to help other countries and so on in our region,
That's right,
you know, strengthen their preparedness.
Yeah, I think we have been singled out and recognized by the United Nations as a leader in this business. You know, I remember a couple of years ago, I'm not even sure it's 2 years as yet, I was invited to South Korea by the UN to do a presentation as to how we do it here in the Caribbean, because they have been looking at us, they have been funding us. The MCR, what is known as the Smart Making Cities a Resilient program, that started here in Tobago, where they looked at that. So partnering is key going forward, and based on funding, based on where we are in Tobago, I started speaking about we live in a very dangerous space, meaning that the world is becoming dangerous. It's not necessarily what you are doing, but what the rest of the world is doing can impact you as well. And as a result of that, it's very imperative for us to understand that we now have to do what we can to align ourselves with these global programs. So those type of initiatives, partnerships, are critically important. We have seen it being demonstrated whereby we align ourselves with the global agendas. I always say, think global, act local.
Yes.
You know, and therefore these global initiatives is really the template that allows for those international mandates. Our current administration have bought into that as well. You have heard this saying about making Tobago the greatest little
island
on the planet. It's a game changer. It also lends itself to opportunities. There is, when I listen to the COP28, there is where the funding is. There is where the funding will be. There is where the ambition towards 2030, the meeting our global
Sustainable Development Goals
by there and then. And there is what is called this industry transition accelerator. It's a body of huge body that brings to the COP funding, that brought to the table among the convention of parties funding, so the world can capitalize on that. Those who understand the global agenda, that you want to decarbonize this planet in order to bring the world to 1.5 degrees Celsius. You have to buy into that program. So we in this space here in Tobago, we are poised, we understand these global ambitions, and therefore in order for us to survive it, because sometimes we are not although Trinidad and Tobago is a major contributor to the fossil fuel industry, we are still in a space whereby Tobago, by least, is not a heavy contributor. Yeah. But we, along the archipelago of islands, we suffer from these climate conditions, and therefore strengthening, building resilience become an imperative, and therefore working along with these global bodies, the United Nations, the IDB, a number of banks, even the World Banks. You saw all of them in Dubai, yes. And they are bringing that body, which is the UN NCCC, is bringing these bodies together to fight this global threat.
And to finally, give support to small island development states.
That's
and,
right.
As we're wrapping up, unfortunately we're out of time, and we could talk so much longer about some of these issues, but it is important that we need to take note of, because when you look at the Pacific Islands like Marshall Islands and so on, who are being lost to the sea, we need to take note here in the Caribbean, because we are so much at risk. So I want to thank you so much, Mr. Stewart, for being on with us.
Yes, the pleasure is always mine.
And viewers, hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again on Monday. So bye for now.
Excellent. Yeah, it's like that. A good interview.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Hey.